I invited my ex to my birthday and wanted to surprise my boyfriend, but my boyfriend didn't like it. I've been with my boyfriend for 3 years, and I thought our relationship was rock solid. We met at a mutual friend's wedding, and from that moment on, it felt like we were meant to be together. Sure, we had our ups and downs, like any couple, but nothing prepared me for the mess that unfolded on my birthday this year. My name is Olivia, and I'm 25 years old. My boyfriend, Jack, is 28. Before I met Jack, I had been into serious relationships. One of those exes, Jake, had reached out to me recently, and I mentioned it to Jack. I wanted to be transparent because I knew how important trust was. Jack was visibly uncomfortable but told me he couldn't control who I'd talk to. I appreciated his understanding and reassured him that Jake and I were just friends now. A month before my birthday, Jake and I had exchanged a few messages, catching up on life. It felt nice to reconnect without any lingering feelings, just as friends. One day, I floated the idea of Jack and me meeting up with Jake for drinks. Jack immediately shot it down, saying he found it weird and wasn't comfortable with the idea. I understood his concern and didn't bring it up again, thinking it was best to avoid any unnecessary tension. Fast forward to my birthday. I decided to have a big celebration at a trendy bar downtown with Jack and a bunch of our friends. I wanted everyone to be there, including Jake. Maybe it was naive of me, but I thought if Jake and Jack could meet, they'd see there was nothing to worry about. I invited Jake without telling Jack, thinking it would be a nice surprise. Big mistake. The night started off perfectly. The bar was buzzing, drinks were flowing, and everyone was having a great time. I was having the best birthday ever until Jake walked in. I saw Jack's face change immediately. He marched over to me and asked what Jake was doing there. I tried to explain that I invited him because I wanted everyone to get along, but Jack was having none of it. He said he wasn't comfortable with this and that if I wanted to drink with Jake, I could do it without him. Before I could say anything, he stormed out. Jake tried to talk to Jack, but Jack told him to mind his own business. I was left standing there, feeling torn between my boyfriend and my friend. The night that was supposed to be full of joy turned into a disaster. I tried to put on a brave face and enjoy the rest of the evening, but it was hard knowing Jack was upset. The next day, I was furious. Jack had walked out on my birthday. I felt like he had ruined my special day because of his insecurities. We argued about it, and he accused me of deliberately disregarding his feelings by inviting Jake. I argued back that it was my birthday and I had the right to invite whoever I wanted. The argument spiraled out of control, both of us saying things we didn't mean. The tension between us lasted for days. We barely spoke, each of us nursing our own hurt feelings. I felt betrayed that Jack couldn't put aside his discomfort for one night. He felt betrayed that I had invited Jake without telling him. It was a mess. Seeking advice, Jack turned to an online forum and shared our story. Reading through the responses, I realized that maybe I hadn't considered Jack's feelings enough. One comment suggested that relationships are about compromise and communication, and it struck a chord with me. It wasn't about who was right or wrong, it was about understanding and respecting each other's boundaries. That evening, Jack called and asked if we could talk. We met at a quiet cafe, both of us nervous. Jack started by apologizing for walking out. He explained that he felt blindsided and disrespected but admitted that leaving the way he did wasn't right. I listened, feeling a bit of the anger melt away. I admitted that I should have been more upfront about inviting Jake. I honestly didn't think it would be a big deal, and I genuinely wanted to show Jack there was nothing to worry about. But I realized that my approach was wrong. We talked about trust, respect, and how important it was to consider each other's feelings. By the end of our conversation, we both felt lighter. We set clearer boundaries and made a conscious effort to communicate better. It was a turning point for us. Months passed and things improved. We communicated more openly, and our relationship felt stronger. We even planned a vacation together, something we had always talked about but never got around to doing. Jake remained a part of my life, but in a way that respected my relationship with Jack. We occasionally exchanged messages, but there were no more surprise invitations. Looking back, the birthday incident was a challenging moment, but it taught us valuable lessons. Relationships aren't always smooth sailing, but it's how you handle the rough waters that determine your strength as a couple. We learned to navigate those waters together, hand in hand, ready to face whatever challenges came our way. But that wasn't the end of our struggles. Life has a way of throwing curveballs when you least expect it. A few months after our birthday incident, I got a promotion at work that required me to travel frequently. Jack and I had always talked about our careers and the potential for changes, but now that it was happening, it brought new challenges. My job took me to different cities, sometimes for a week or more. Jack was supportive, but the distance started to weigh on us. We missed our daily routines, our spontaneous weekend adventures, and just being together. We tried to stay connected through video calls and messages, but it wasn't the same. One evening, after a long day of meetings, I was in my hotel room, feeling particularly lonely. I called Jack, and we talked for a while. But then, out of nowhere, he mentioned how hard it was for him to see Jake's messages pop up on my phone when I wasn't there. I hadn't realized it was bothering him that much. We talked about it, and I assured him that Jake and I were just friends. But the conversation left me feeling uneasy. The next day, I decided to have an honest conversation with Jake about the impact his messages were having on my relationship. Jake was understanding and agreed to give us some space. I felt relieved, thinking this would help ease Jack's concerns. However, things took another turn when Jack's company faced a major crisis. He worked in IT, and there was a significant security breach that required him to work long hours, often late into the night. We were both swamped with work, and the little time we had together was filled with stress and exhaustion. One night, after a particularly grueling week, we finally had a quiet dinner at home. We talked about our jobs, our future, and how we could make things work despite the challenges. Jack suggested that maybe I should consider looking for a position that didn't require so much travel. I was taken aback. I loved my job and had worked hard to get where I was. His suggestion felt like he was asking me to choose between my career and our relationship. We argued again. I felt he was being unfair, not understanding how important my career was to me. He felt I wasn't considering how hard it was for him to cope with the distance and the added pressure at work. The argument left us both feeling hurt and misunderstood. The following weekend, we decided to take a short trip to a cabin in the mountains, hoping to reconnect and find some peace away from our busy lives. The cabin was secluded, surrounded by nature, and it felt like the perfect escape. We spent our days hiking, talking, and just enjoying each other's company without any distractions. One evening, we sat by the fireplace, and Jack opened up about his fears. He admitted that he was afraid of losing me, that the distance was making him feel disconnected and insecure. I listened, realizing how much he had been holding in. I shared my own fears about losing myself in my career and not being able to balance everything. We talked for hours about our dreams, our fears, and our love for each other. We realized that we needed to find a balance to support each other's goals while also nurturing our relationship. It wasn't about one of us sacrificing for the other, but about finding a way to make it work together. After that trip, things started to improve. We made a pact to communicate more openly and to support each other's careers while also making time for us. I spoke to my boss about reducing my travel, and Jack found ways to manage his work stress better. We started having weekly date nights, no matter how busy we were, and made sure to prioritize our relationship. We even started planning more getaways, small trips that allowed us to reconnect and create new memories. Our relationship felt stronger than ever, not because we didn't face challenges, but because we faced them together. One of the most memorable trips was to Italy. We had always talked about going there, and finally, we made it happen. We explored the beautiful cities, enjoyed the delicious food, and immersed ourselves in the rich culture. It was a dream come true and a testament to how far we had come as a couple. Back home, we continued to grow together. We moved into a new apartment, decorated it together, and made it our own. We hosted dinner parties, spent lazy Sundays binge-watching our favorite shows, and supported each other through the ups and downs of life. Through it all, Jake remained a part of my past, a reminder of the importance of transparency and respect in our relationship. Jack and I learned to trust each other more, to communicate better, and to appreciate the love we shared. It wasn't always easy, but it was worth it. Our relationship grew stronger because we faced the storm together and came out on the other side, more united than ever. Looking back, I realize that every challenge we faced brought us closer. It wasn't just about one birthday or one argument. It was about our journey together. The love we shared was tested, but it endured. We learned to navigate life's challenges together, hand in hand, ready to face whatever came our way. And that, to me, was worth more than any perfect birthday celebration. It was about our future and how we chose to build it together. Through the ups and downs, Jack and I learned to trust each other more, communicate better, and appreciate the love we shared. It wasn't always easy, but it was worth it. Our relationship grew stronger because we faced the storm together and came out on the other side, more united than ever. The journey wasn't without its trials, and each step we took was a testament to our commitment to each other. We discovered that love is not just about the good times, but about how you weather the storms together, emerging more resilient and united. Over the next year, our relationship continued to evolve. Jack and I decided to adopt a dog, a sweet Labrador named Max, who quickly became the center of our world. Max brought so much joy and laughter into our lives, providing a new focus that we both cherished. We loved taking him on long walks in the park, playing fetch, and just watching his goofy antics. It was another way we bonded, caring for this little creature who depended on us and brought us closer together. With Max in our lives, we found a new routine that included morning jogs and evening strolls. It was a simple pleasure, but it grounded us in ways we hadn't anticipated. Our conversations during those walks were deep and meaningful, sometimes playful, but always reinforcing our connection. Our social circle also grew. We started hosting more gatherings at our place, inviting friends for barbecues and game nights. It was wonderful to see Jack laughing and enjoying himself with our friends, old and new. I felt proud of the life we were building together, one that included the people we loved and the dog who had become our fur baby. Despite the progress, life threw another curveball our way. My mother was diagnosed with a serious illness, and it hit me hard. I needed to be there for her, which meant frequent visits to my hometown. Jack was incredibly supportive, often joining me on those trips or holding down the fort at home when I needed to stay longer. His support during that tough time was invaluable. He made sure I knew I wasn't alone, offering comfort and strength when I felt overwhelmed. The experience brought us closer. We talked about our own health, our families, and what the future might hold. It was a sobering time, but it was also filled with moments of love and tenderness. Jack's compassion and unwavering support deepened my love for him. I realized that our bond was more than just romantic love. It was a partnership built on mutual respect and care. As my mother's condition stabilized, we started talking about our future again, this time with more seriousness. We discussed marriage, children, and the kind of life we wanted to build. It wasn't just about our careers anymore. It was about creating a family and a home filled with love and laughter. We even talked about where we might want to live long-term, considering the possibility of moving closer to my family or finding a place that suited both our careers and lifestyle preferences. One weekend, Jack surprised me with a trip to the countryside. He had rented a charming cottage for us to escape the hustle and bustle of the city. It was a perfect getaway, filled with quiet walks, cozy fires, and star-filled nights. On the last evening, as we sat by the fireplace with Max at our feet, Jack proposed. He told me he couldn't imagine a future without me, and I felt the same. It was a beautiful, intimate moment that felt right in every way. We decided to have a small, intimate wedding with close friends and family. Planning the wedding was a joyous process, one that brought us even closer. We chose a beautiful garden venue, and the day was perfect. As we exchanged vows, I felt an overwhelming sense of love and commitment. We were starting a new chapter together, one that promised adventure, love, and a lifetime of partnership. Our honeymoon was in Greece, a place we had both dreamed of visiting. We explored ancient ruins, lounged on beautiful beaches, and enjoyed the local cuisine. It was a magical time, one that felt like the beginning of a grand adventure. Returning home, we settled into married life with a sense of contentment and excitement for the future. We continued to grow together, facing challenges with a united front and celebrating the joys with open hearts. Jack and I learned that love is not just a feeling but a choice we make every day to support, respect, and cherish each other. Over the next few years, we experienced many more adventures. We traveled to new countries, bought our first home, and even started a small garden where we grew our own vegetables. Each experience added a new layer to our relationship, enriching our lives in ways we hadn't imagined. Jack and I also faced new challenges, but with each one, we grew stronger. We navigated career changes, supported each other through personal losses, and celebrated each other's successes. We learned that true partnership is about being there for each other in every moment, big or small. As I look back on our journey, I realize that the birthday incident was just one of many tests we faced. It was a turning point that taught us about trust, respect, and the importance of communication. It wasn't always easy, but it was always worth it. We learned to navigate life's challenges together, hand in hand, ready to face whatever came our way. Our relationship grew stronger because we faced the storms together and came out on the other side, more united than ever. Through it all, Jack and I learned to trust each other more, communicate better, and appreciate the love we shared. It wasn't always easy, but it was worth it. Our relationship grew stronger because we faced the storm together and came out on the other side, more united than ever. And that, to me, was worth more than any perfect birthday celebration. It was about our future and how we chose to build it together. Through the ups and downs, Jack and I learned to trust each other more, communicate better, and appreciate the love we shared. It wasn't always easy, but it was worth it. Our relationship grew stronger because we faced the storm together and came out on the other side, more united than ever. As the years went by, our love continued to grow and evolve. We faced new challenges and celebrated new milestones. We started a family, welcoming two beautiful children into our lives. Parenthood brought its own set of joys and challenges, but we faced them together, learning and growing as a team. Jack was an incredible father, and seeing him with our children only deepened my love for him. We made a home filled with love, laughter, and the chaos of family life. We supported each other's dreams and aspirations, always finding a way to balance our individual goals with our shared life. Our home became a haven, a place where we could be ourselves and find comfort in each other. Looking back on our journey, I am filled with gratitude for the love and partnership we built. It wasn't always easy, but it was always worth it. Through the ups and downs, we learned to trust each other more, communicate better, and appreciate the love we shared. It wasn't always easy, but it was worth it. Our relationship grew stronger because we faced the storm together and came out on the other side, more united than ever. As we grew older, we continued to cherish each other and the life we built. We faced new challenges, celebrated new milestones, and created countless memories together. Our love stood the test of time, growing deeper and stronger with each passing year. And that, to me, was worth more than any perfect birthday celebration. It was about our future and how we chose to build it together. Through the ups and downs, Jack and I learned to trust each other more, communicate better, and appreciate the love we shared. It wasn't always easy, but it was worth it. Our relationship grew stronger because we faced the storm together and came out on the other side, more united than ever.